What's up, everybody? Big Herc, Prison Talk live stream. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Sorry I missed y'all last week, but I had to take care of some business, but it's back and cracking. Shout out to everybody that went to see Fresh Out at the Warped Tour. Shout out to you. We got some cool video footage. We're going to be dropping some dope footage from the Warped Tour for you guys. So hopefully you guys will check that out. And I appreciate everybody who's been subscribing to the website, who's been supporting. And, hope everybody's happy with their shoe and slide order. We got them in stock, so get your shoes and your slides. They're on the website. They're available. Immediate shipping. So check it out on the commissary, FreshOutSeries.com. Also, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube, the Instagram and the Twitter. So, you guys check that out, subscribe, leave a comment. If you got a question, go to the website, shoot us a question. We'll try to answer it. If not, you can always email us at FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. I know a lot of you guys have been waiting for us to get the shirts in. Since none of you guys have bought them yet, we want to go ahead and the Coochie Gang. The Coochie Gang shirts are in. So the tank tops, fresh for summer. So if you are about that Coochie Gang, Gucci Gang, holler at us and get you a Coochie Gang tank top at FreshOutSeries.com. You know what I'm saying? A lot of you guys talking about your coochie assassins. You're about that coochie. You like to sniff it, lick it, and do all that, stick it. Get you a Coochie Gang tank top. A lot of big things going on, man. We dropped the Rampart edition. Hope you guys like that. You know what I'm saying? We just dropped that. It was going down with, Ruben put it in work and telling his story of redemption. Also, we just dropped Monday a fresh interview with somebody who's been through a lot of adversity. Hope you guys enjoyed that interview. It was a great interview, a lot of insight. We love to hear your feedback. Holler at us. And let us know what you guys think, man. Look forward to hearing from everybody. We want to talk a little bit today about a few things in the news, so you guys go ahead and let me know what your thoughts are. Adam Kent, man, thanks for the donation, homie. Appreciate it. Who said, what was the worst reaction to the world when you got out, man? Since third grade is coming out after 15, I want to be prepared to help him. My man, since third grade is coming out after a long time, 15 years, want to be prepared to help him. Hopefully, the worst reaction, people don't know you got out of prison unless you act like you got out of prison. The thing is, hopefully he's been getting his mind right. You can support him as far as being there for him, having his back. But as far as, what's going to happen to him, hopefully he's been preparing himself, studying, doing all the right things to get his mind right. That's the only thing I can say, because I'd never acclimated to prison. My mind was always outside of prison. Jeff, you want to do an interview? Shoot us an email, man. FreshOutSeries@gmail.com. You know what I mean? Live interview. We don't do live. We do. We gotta film you, man. Somebody said they're a coochie slayer. Somebody said, what do I think about LeBron in LA? Welcome to LA. Damn, it was a good day. LeBron about to put in some work, and he about to motherfucking make it happen. LeBron, brand went up. He doing big things out here. And, shout out to LeBron, man. Lakers needed a key marquee player, man. They got one with LeBron. Hey, Big Herc, how do you stop allowing people to play with your emotions to get you angry or do something dumb you will regret later? Man, sometimes you got to just take a step back and almost do like some Yoda Jedi shit where you meditate and reflect on all the different things that would happen if you were to do what you thought about doing. If you do that, you will see that maybe what you're about to do is not the best thing. You know, because a lot of times you have that voice in your head that's telling you one thing, but you know that's not the best choice, man. So, yeah, you gotta step back, man, and really, before you act, just play out multiple scenarios in your mind. Johnson Jesus, thanks for the donation, man. Herc, I hope you don't mind. Message a little easy tonight. Tell him he should be on your show. Be a great interview. Yeah, man, it would be great if we got him on here, man. I would love for that to happen. That'd be cool. You're very welcome, Herc. You gave me useful advice about cryptocurrency before, and your video about the border detention being connected to the private industry was very important info. Oh, man, I'm glad that worked out for you. Somebody said, do you think Sacramento is more dangerous now or back then? You know what, man? It's crazy because as you get older and kind of put things in perspective, it just depends on what you're doing. I mean, Sacramento could be considered more dangerous now, but it depends on where you know, who you're socializing with. When I was out there, I was socializing with people, and it was wild back then. Motherfuckers were getting popped and shot and, you know, stabbed, all kind of shit. But when you're hanging around people who are making money out in Sacramento or on some business shit, you won't see that shit. You know, your friends are your biggest influence on you. So your friends are a reflection of who you are. So, you know, you gotta pay attention to your surroundings, man. But, you know, Sac, man, it's, you know, hometown and all, but it's like, man, people think very limited. You know what I mean? They have glass ceilings, man. And if you want to grow, you can't grow in a motherfucking pond. You know, you got to expand yourself, man. You know, it's all right. You can live here and all this shit, but you got to think bigger. You got to think global. What do you think about Bo Sosa from Oak Park? I just got hip to him, man. I've seen one of his videos. You know, sound like he, you know, got some little flow, man. I hope homeboy the best. You know what I'm saying? I don't have anything negative to say about him. You know, I just heard his music. It sounded like he's spitting. You know what I mean? I don't really know the ins and outs of him. Nah, thanks for the donation. Did you hear Cali's trying to end PCRs? No, I didn't hear about that. But, I mean, shit, man. Yeah, get the motherfucking rats up out of there. You know, the bottom line is, stay the fuck out of prison, everybody. Fuck prison, man. Get money on the street. You know, hustle, be smart. And, you know, people always ask me, what do I think about this? Man, if I would have never have went to that shit, it wouldn't have fucking fazed me. You know, I wouldn't give it a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Prison is nothing to brag about, bro. Nothing to brag about. Herc, what is it like to come out of prison to a decade worth of new technology? It's very frustrating. You feel, to some degree, like you're lacking because, you know, it's out of your, you know, you're playing catch up. So, you know, the way technology is moving now, 5 years, man, in prison is like setting you back a decade because you got to try to catch up to where everybody else is at. And then by the time you catch up, they're already on to something else. So, yeah, man, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Arturo, thanks for the donation. Oh, he said, Big Herc, love the show. Can you give me a shout out as I'm a cheek busting champion? My girl's cheeks. Right on. Arturo Casaleon, cheek busting champion. That's right. Bust some cheeks out, homie. You know what I'm saying? A lot of motherfuckers be on here and they be, you know, liking to crack little jokes about, you know, cheeks and this and that, man. Hey, man, when we used to talk about cheeks in prison, and I've told you guys this before, is we would talk about busting guards' cheeks, female guards' cheeks, you know, female staff's cheeks. It's a fantasy. You know what I'm saying? Nobody I knew that I fuck with up in there, no nigga I knew was talking about busting another nigga's cheeks. So for you guys who think about man cheeks, you guys are Peter gazers. You know what I'm saying? Somebody said, Does being bigger allow you to get more girls, or does size matter to how much? Nah, man. What matters is what type of mouthpiece you got. If you can talk, you know what I mean. You can make shit happen. Females, having abs and being all, you know what I mean, cut up or muscular, it doesn't matter, man. A woman wants a man who's gonna treat him like a woman. Somebody who's gonna take care of him, pay attention, handle business, not be a fucking dick. You know. Somebody was asking about cryptocurrency advice. I don't really have any new advice. I'm just holding on to all the cryptocurrencies I've had for a while, waiting for the market to jump back up. I always talk about having more than one revenue stream. So if you want to really be about your hustle, have more than one revenue stream, such as, whether it be cryptos, penny stocks, buying and selling real estate, cars. There's a lot of different things you can do. So try to have more than one hustle. But yeah. Oscar Garcia, thanks for the donation, man. LeBron is a Laker. What the hell happened here? Having a little technical difficulty on the YouTube. So on the Instagram. So I'm gonna start it over. Somebody said, tell me what the Asians and the dudes from Indian ride with in prison. How do they protect themselves? Protect themselves, man. They just beat themselves. I've never seen an Indian in prison from India, to be honest with you. So I couldn't really tell you about that, you know what I mean? But I fuck with Asian cats in prison. They was, handle their business, man. There wasn't nobody tripping off of them. My cousin got 30 years for street terrorism. Do you think he can get a drop without dropping out? 30 years for street terrorism. I don't know, man. I don't know the particulars of his case, and I can't really give out legal advice, so it's hard to say what's going to happen to him as far as, whether he can get it dropped. I don't know. I don't know if whatever type of pill he's got going on. Let's see how the term jury service, especially grand, important to someone's livelihood. Somebody said the reason why I say that, because of jury service? Okay. Mulan Menace, thanks for the donation. Oh, yeah. You too, buddy. Viking MTG, thanks for the donation. There are more ex-cons that got their life on track than most think. My life was stopped cold 5 years from now. I'm 42 and finally getting it right. That's right, man. I know a lot of dudes been to the pen and they're successful, but it's because they appreciate, what life is all about, whereas some people take it for granted. So I feel that a lot of guys I know that's been through the system are really looking at life different now. They're not just assuming things or taking things for granted. Somebody says, what about prisons that are underground? I don't really know anything about underground prisons. I know they got a lot of fucked up spots, but I don't know anything about underground prisons. Somebody said, what if you don't want to shower? If you don't want to shower, and I knew of somebody who didn't want to shower, eventually what happened, that motherfucker got DP'd, which means he got disciplined. So if you choose not to shower, eventually you will get dealt with. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what happens to that. Do prisons do leg workouts, or is that considered homosexual? No, I did squats in prison. I mean, me and the homies were working out legs, so it wasn't really no problem doing legs in prison. Somebody said, what's up with those crazy sentences like 220 years, 2.5 lifetimes? Well, in the feds, I've seen dudes with, 200 years is fucking crazy, and they know you're not gonna live out that life, so that the life of that sentence. But that's just their way of kind of setting an example by giving you all that time. But yeah, man, it's when they give dudes time like that, man, that's crazy, man. I mean, especially in the feds, and whether I've seen them do it for guys with drugs, money laundering. It's crazy when you don't want to cooperate or take a deal. You want to? I don't know about that person. How does it go up? Norway. Did you see anybody in jail that lost it mentally from just being in jail? Yeah, my co-defendant. He went crazy in prison. He went crazy. He served majority of his time in a mental institution, and when he got out, he was living on Skid Row. And allegedly, one day when the police were doing like a cleanup, they said reach for a gun or something, and they shot him 5 times. He's dead. So he actually went mentally insane in prison. It broke him down. Mentally he couldn't. He couldn't cope. So people go crazy in prison, man. It can fuck your head up. Jen Worm, thanks for the donation. What happens to guys who are in jail because they had sex with someone who lied about their age? Dude, sorry to say, but you get your wig split, man. Anything to do with kids, underage, when people ask for your paperwork, it's hard to explain that one, man. It's hard to explain, bro. So just be careful. And I've done videos on that before where, make sure whoever you're dealing with is of age, because you don't want to get caught in jail for some underage shit, man. It's not cool. And motherfuckers, the thing about people in jail, they're not trying to rationalize with you. They don't want to hear your excuses. They don't want to hear your justification. They just want to know what the fuck you did, and whether or not you can try to explain it. They figure that you're in there, so that you already went through that in court. They don't want to hear that shit. Somebody said, "How do you beat your meat in a dorm?" I don't know, man. You better watch out, because you got the Petergate that's trying to watch you if you beat your meat in the dorm. You get caught with your Peter out, man, you might get your wig split. Motherfucker think you're sex playing them, so you don't want to beat your meat in the dorm in front of a bunch of men. You're going to have to somehow figure that one out. Lib24, thanks for the donation. Did I ever see someone cry on their first night in prison? Yup. A lot of motherfuckers. A lot of tough guys, man. When they get arrested, they cry. Then they start pointing the finger, telling on anybody they can think of, anybody they think that's gonna get them time off. So all them tough motherfuckers, I've seen some motherfuckers tough as shit on the street, packing pistols. They get in jail and they crying like little babies. So don't let that shit fool you. Somebody said, "What am I drinking?" I'm drinking agua. I was a little thirsty. Tristan Memphis, thanks for the donation. Somebody said, "When's the last time I split a wig?" It's been a minute, man. You know what I mean? I stay ready. I stay training all the time. But, splitting wigs, man, I'm on some shit now. More or less getting money. I'm trying to build myself up, not get caught up over some punk ass case because somebody tells on me because I had to, put hands on them. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I really try not to focus on the violent aspects of life. I know you got to always be ready to defend yourself, but I try not to really, put too much energy into splitting wigs. Viking MTG, thanks for the donation. Every friend I had before I got arrested completely alienated me during and after. Was it the same for you? A lot of motherfuckers after I got out, they kind of kept their distance until they saw where my head was at. And then they kind of like try to integrate themselves back into my life. But, people show their true colors, man. When you're down and out, You know what I mean? That's when you need a motherfucker the most. Once I get back on my feet, if you weren't there when I was down and out, why am I going to fuck with you now? So, I say fuck them. You know what I mean? It helps me clean my plate. Somebody asked me where I learned Spanish. Estudio en escuela in college. And I studied a little bit in high school. But necesita estudio mucho. I need to study more. I haven't been really prepping up on my Spanish. But you gotta be versatile, man. So motherfucker talking Spanish around me and they think I don't know what the fuck they talking about. I might not know everything, but I'm gonna pick up on what you're saying. So watch your mouth. Kevin King, what up, man? Thanks for donation. Oh, how do you make a girl squirt? Also, could you please let us know when you will be collaborating with... Oh, okay. Mr. Peter Gaither. Man, they got movies on Pornhub that tell you how to do that. Now, if you're asking me how to do that, that's $1 million question, which I know, but you're going to have to hit me up on a different channel or a different line for that. So go to the website, buddy. J.O., thanks for the donation. I have a friend who's on the run, who absconded probation 3 times after being extradited and skipped town. He found a job. What advice should I give him? Oh, man, if he's on the run, he's fucked, bro. They don't want to hear that you got a job and that you're trying to do good now and you never reported. Basically, he's going to have to face the music eventually, and unless he gets a good lawyer that can go in there and spit game to the judge and show that he's been rehabilitated and he's not a menace to society, he might catch a break, but yeah, he's fucked. Eric, thanks for the donation. How consistent are your revenue streams on a month-to-month? Do they fluctuate wildly? First started out as an entrepreneur. Your revenue is always going to be, to some degree, fluctuating, especially when you're starting new hustles or new jobs or new ventures. Initially, like a lot of, people made a lot of money in crypto, and then, crypto, as you can see now, Bitcoin is under $7,000. It hit the shit. But, the people who get in now, if they look down the road 2-3 years, they could be sitting on a chunk of change. It's no different than, certain stocks, or if you short sell stocks, you can make money off of something losing money. So, it just all depends on what it is you're involved in. Buying and selling cars. I mean, I've had times where I've sold cars and, I had a car and didn't even list it and made $10,000, and other times I broke even. And then there's been other times where I put too much money into a car and I lost a little bit of money. So everything is a gamble, but you got to make it calculated and just kind of trying to spread your hustle out. Somebody said, how do you deal with changing your attitude and dealing with society and mingling with people on a cool level after getting out and being used to minding your own business? Well, I was never institutionalized, like I said, man. So getting out, to me, it wasn't a big adjustment. I wasn't on prison time. I never went to prison, and bought into the whole prison attitude. So when I got back into society, it was like I never left. As soon as I got out, I was making moves, man. I was meeting people, socializing, and I had a job within a week through a homeboy. So I networked pretty quick, man, and I just know how to treat people, man. You know what I mean? I know how to share with people. Big Herc, what's your thoughts on the porn game nowadays? Was the internet the downfall or was it the helpful? The internet, fuck porn. You know what I mean? Initially, it made a lot of money for people who had websites who were hosting, but with like the different laws and regulations, and now, you got the girl next door or the MILF or, the BBW from whoever that doesn't need a name to do porn. Back in the day, porn girls would be able to put a video out and they would be, it would be a year before she had to do anal. Now, shit, man, that might be her first fucking video. So the game definitely changed, man. It's not the same. I know guys who are producers, man. They were telling me that they used to, they're making 1/3 of the money they used to make filming. So it's a rough game. I mean, pretty much everybody that's in the porn is usually doing some type of side hustle, escorting, or gigoloing. That's what it's come down to. Roberto Maguire, thanks for the donation. I have to surrender next week, but I wasn't assigned to any institution yet, so I have to go to the marshals. Any advice? Nah, man. Just hopefully they go to a spot where you know somebody, and just be you, man. Don't go in there running your mouth. Be quiet. Stay low key, and you'll kind of just fill the place out. Don't try to be nobody running your mouth and trying to explain all this shit. Keep to yourself, man. Stay low key, and just mind your business. John Schofield, thanks for the donations. Yeah, I seen that Warriors got Boogie Cousins. That's right. So the Warriors are stacked once again. You know what I'm saying? Ready to put in that work in the finals. As being a doctor or hustle in prison, no, I've never seen a doctor hustle in prison, because they got doctors on there, but I haven't seen any prison doctors who are hustling in there. Being a lawyer is a hustle. Do people fast in prison? Do people like fasting in prison? How do computer nerds, geeks, smart guys get treated in prison? I actually did a fast in prison. At one point, me and my guys, we did the ultimate cleanse. And we went, no bullshit, we went over 7 days without eating any food. All we drank was salt water, a gallon of salt water in the mornings. And, you shit your brains out. You clean out all the fucking shit in your stomach and your testing. And then we drink cayenne pepper, lemon, and honey water throughout the day. And that was what we ate. We drank, actually. And we didn't eat. We did I think it was I want to say a 10-day fast. And fuck, man, it was crazy. I was giving away food. And it gave me a lot of clarity. And it just took away the power of the prison. It took away the power of the people who were in control of me, because food is one of the biggest ways they control people in prison. Because you have nothing else. You have no pussy. You have no access to your family. You have no access to real money. And food is a comfort. And that's, once you can let go of that, you basically are completely free. And that's one of the empowering things we did in prison. Somebody asked about cannibals. I knew nothing about cannibals in prison. What are your thoughts on dollar cost averaging? Can't really say, man. I mean, dollar cost averaging, I don't know if you're considering an investment, or you're talking about the dollar versus the euro or the yen. You'd have to clarify. If you could roll with any gangster, past or present, who do you pick? Who do I pick? I would pick a billionaire, man. Somebody who's a businessman. I wouldn't even... The motherfucking gangsters that I thought that I wanted to be like or emulate, it was basically, man, it was an illusion. I wouldn't follow any of those people. I would follow, I would try to maybe mentor under a Richard Branson, or, or somebody who's like a corporate raider, maybe Michael Milken. Some of these guys who are fucking beastly at business, Bob Johnson, I would try to get into their, under them, and get tutored on how to negotiate, how to look for a good deal, how to put together, business, business proposals, shit like that, man. The streets, man, I wouldn't even entertain the streets. I wouldn't even consider that a thought. Looking back, I would surround myself around a different crowd of people. When you invest $100 into the market, no matter where, Warren Buffett style, Well, you know what? I would invest $100 into the market. I got some investments that I'm involved with that I can't really speak on here, but I'm getting a very, very good return, and it's foreign investments. So to be honest with you, any investment I would do, I would look to countries abroad, whether it be China, Africa, South America, and getting involved in things that are low risk, high return, that are backed by the government, that are opportunistic. But you got to know people for those. So I wouldn't really get involved in anything domestically, because you can't make any money. In my opinion, the type of return I'm getting, I couldn't make it domestically. And even though at the end of the day, the profit does end up here, but you have to get something from foreign and bring it domestic to make the real money. Jesse, thanks for the donation. How does it feel? No, most of your subscribers are Peter. A lot of these guys are, I guess it's entertaining for them to talk about Peter gazing and cheek busting, but it is what it is. And I thank you for the donation, bro. What the WTF? Thanks for the donation. Shout out from Merced 209. Much respect for breaking the cycle, improving your life. Let food be the medicine, and medicine be thy food. Hippocrates. That's right. Changing the cycle, breaking the cycle, doing something different with your life, man. That's what this is all about. It's not about glamorizing prison and trying to tell these war stories. I let people tell their stories, and it is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's about having a positive experience, doing something good for yourself and for your family and for your friends, and not going to prison, keeping somebody out of prison. Somebody said, what's Christmas like in prison? It's depressing. You get a fucking bag with some fucking candy bars and some bullshit in it, some junk food, and that's it. Prison, Christmas in prison, you feel like shit. Somebody said, have you had any issues in the past with people you used to associate with who wanted you back in the game? Are you still friends with some of them? Nah, man. I don't socialize with anybody that was into bullshit when I went in. I mean, I've seen some of these people on Facebook, but I don't bother with them, man. I'm on a different page. I don't have time to be entertaining punk ass shit, man, and letting people throw negativity into my aura. So I avoid a lot of those people who are basically not doing shit with their lives. I just, it's simpler just to go about my way, man. Yeah, I would say the same for New Year's. It's very depressing, man. I mean, even if you get a visit, you got to come back to your cell, but I didn't even get a fucking visit in prison. So it was fucked up all the way around the board, Wasn't nothing, it was just a horrible experience. People try to, make it sound like it was, this and we were doing that in there. If you're talking about that shit, then you're a loser. It ain't nothing to be, it ain't nothing to be glamorizing. Glamorize some shit on the street. You were taking care of your kids. You bought a house for your family. You started a business. You and your friends are balling on a boat or on a beach. That's what it's about. Bragging about prison shit ain't shit, man. What do I think about the 6 guys who killed a boy in the Bronx? They're going to catch the blues, man. Them niggas is going to catch the blues when they go to Rikers. You got motherfuckers in Rikers who are going to have something for their ass. And, yeah, man, it's not going to be a good ride for them. That kid was a, young dude, had a bright future ahead of him. And, people in there, man, when they see that, man, they have nothing to lose. You got a guy who got life, man, and he might feel like he's doing he's doing his due by busting their heads, splitting their wigs. So those guys are fucked. The killer, the guy who killed Triple S Tentacion, he gonna catch the blues. I've heard some stuff on the YouTube that, supposedly happened. I don't know if it's true or not, so I'm not gonna speak on it, but man, those guys now, the way social media is, and the thing is now your case is out there for everybody to see. See, the thing is, you can't even hide about what you're in jail for no more. Especially the way when you do these high-profile crimes. So, motherfucker find you in there, and they'll just act like they're cool with you. And, man, they'll have some motherfuckers come in there and split your wig or try to bust your motherfucking cheeks, man. What do I think about ADX Florence? I don't know. I've never been there. You know what I mean? Don't really have any thoughts on it. No thoughts on MS-13 either. I wasn't running around with that crowd of people, so I can't really speak on what I don't know. If someone loses a loved one on the streets, do they take it out on the staff or prison inmates? Could be. You know, you always got to be conscious of a person, what they're going through. I remember there was a cat up in there before I got to Long Park USP. Apparently, he just, he had a lot of time, and he didn't give a fuck. And I don't know what happened to provoke him, but they said that he came to the chow hall with his hands in his jacket, and when he pulled his hands out of his jacket, he had 2 motherfucking shanks, one in either hand, and he just started stabbing staff members. He stabbed they said over 10 people, and they finally just killed him. So, you never know what a person's going to go through, man. You don't know what's going through their mind, so you always got to be conscious of that in prison. Prison it's a horrible mind fuck, man. Horrible. So, let's get into the shout-outs, y'all. Ryan, thanks for the donation, man. What's your take on a depopulation theory? I can't really speak on. I don't know, man. I mean, they say places are overcrowded, but then you go to parts of, you can go to parts of Texas. There's nobody out there. It's empty. There's parts in California for miles you won't see nobody. So you talk about the cities and overcrowdedness. Yeah, but everybody's trying to live where it's comfortable for them to get to where they need to go. But it's just like with the homeless. I mean, where are they going to start putting them in the desert? They got these fucking camps. I mean, it's fucked up. But depopulation and resources, I think that, these rich people, they're always, to some degree in fear of there not being enough, and to preserve, humankind. We need to have less people on Earth. So there's a lot of different things people could come up with. What's right, what's wrong, I can't really say, because everybody's gonna have their own opinion, and I don't know if it's right or wrong. I don't think that resources are gonna run out, but then again, who knows? I mean, the way we consume stuff and just the violent nature of the people, to some degree, there has to be change, and it has to come from not violence but love. You know what I mean? Love has got to change the world. So time for the shout outs. Shout out to West LA, shout out to Jamaica, shout out to Santa Cruz, shout out to Philly, shout out to Maryland, shout out to somebody said Paris, California. Shout out to everybody who tuned in tonight. All y'all, man, have a safe 4th of July. Don't do nothing stupid. Shout out to Houston. Shout out to Oklahoma City. Shout out to Eric. Happy birthday, man. You just got out of San Quentin, man. Don't violate, bro. Don't go back. Shout out to Kentucky, Detroit 313, North Korea, Phoenix, Arizona, Bronx, New York, Chirac 817, Georgia, South Carolina, Michigan, Trinidad, U.S. Army, everybody serving in the military, El Paso, Manila, Philippines, SoCal, Dallas, Columbia, Sweden, Spokane, Rochester, St. Louis, East Bay, Ireland, Australia, Ottawa, NC, Rancho, LA, Yakima, Columbia, Tijuana, Altadena, Fresno, 619, Michigan, Oakland. Hey, man, shout out to all y'all, man. Lima, Peru, Gold Coast, Portland, UK, 504, Africa, Germantown, El Salvador, it's somebody at A-Tray, Sacktown, Vinton, Florida. Hey, man, Maui, everybody, man. Come back next week. Hope to hear from y'all. Have a great weekend. Do something positive with your life. Also, tune in to Big Herc 916 for more on positivity and doing something right. I'm out. Fresh out. Love y'all, man. Subscribe to the channel.